All right, welcome back to Nightmare Weekend 2024. Oh man, we've got an absolute legend right here with us right now, Robert Kurtzman. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thanks for coming to this. And
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Yes, absolutely. There's no good place to start with you. I mean, in all reality, this spread, you've done everything under the sun as far as makeup group, and now you are a living legend. You are the tops of the special effects world, and have also moved into your own filmmaking and directing and things like that now too. I mean, you've become a titan of the industry in your own right. What got you started? What made you want to do this for a living?
I was that geek kid that didn't play sports really, and I sat in the basement watching monster movies on the weekends, and late night horror host shows, and that pretty much was, I just gravitated toward that at a young age, and then started collecting famous monsters and Fangoria and Aurora model kits of the classic monsters, and that was it, man. I was just that kid that my mom was an artist as well.
Oh, excellent.
So
okay.
She nurtured that in me, and I was always a kid drawing, creatures and stuff in class. I went to Catholic school, so I was always getting whacked, and they would take my drawings away or my Fangoria magazines that I would have, in class all the time. So, and I used to be the kid who collected those and kept them in plastic sleeves so they wouldn't get messed up and wouldn't let anybody touch them, So, yeah.
I may or may not have an awkwardly large stack of Fangoria at home now.
It sounds like all of our childhoods.
Yeah. It's crazy. I know Randy and myself, we love horror films, but both of us from an early age were extremely attracted to specifically the special makeup effects. And Randy has me aged by just a little bit. But I know when I first started to really get into it, obviously The Godfather and things like Rick Baker and Tom Savini, but the next name I remember being there was yours. And so you hit me right at that perfect age where I spent my childhood and kind of grew up with you and watching all of your things, and even knew what was the inception of like the K&B FX group and how that all kicked off.
Well, we all got into the business around the same time, me, Howard, and Greg, and there's a lot of other artists that went on to start their own companies as well. We were kind of like the next generation under Rick Baker and Stan Winston and guys like that.
Absolutely.
And it was like the early 80s, and we were working, the three of us were working for other people. Like Greg was working for Savini, and Howard and me were working for Kevin Yeager and Mark Shostrom and Stan. We were working around town for all the other artists, and we ended up doing a lot of supervision on shows for them, where we would supervise things in the shop and coordinate, then go and do the set work, And it just got to a certain point. It was like after Evil Dead 2 and somewhere around there where Scotty Spiegel called us about doing this movie called Intruder. And we were doing Deep Star 6 at the time for Mark Shostrom. And we basically just said, why don't we do your movie, Scotty? Because he was looking for young, cheap guys to do it. I figured we were too expensive. But we needed a show under our belt to start our company.
Sure.
And the three of us decided to do that movie, and basically we didn't get paid much at all, but it gave us a credit, and that's what started the company. And then it just snowballed because we were it was the heyday of practical effects and that in the 80s and 90s, and we were able to we were delivering a quality effects work on a budget. And that's why we started getting hired to do like a lot of the sequels to the movies we grew up on, like Halloween and Texas Chainsaw and Pumpkinhead and things like that. Well, Pumpkinhead too.
Yes.
But it was just and we became friends with a lot of filmmakers, and they just started recommending us to their other friends. And it just snowballed. So.
And thankfully so, because There's no way I could pick a favorite, but I mean, you guys can see the spread of what you've worked on. So many absolutely iconic things. I know it'd be stereotypical to ask you what would be your favorite makeup. So I don't want to ask you what your favorite makeup is. What I would like to know was what was your favorite one to create, the process and everything. What was the most fun for you to actually work on and be excited to be a part of?
Oh God, there's so many. I mean,
Done a couple.
Well, in the last 10 years or so, Mr. Tusk was just something special because it was so weird. But there's like the rat and From Dusk Till Dawn, the big puppet.
Oh,
as far as creatures go, that's cool. Of course, the Violator and Spawn was always cool because it was such a big mechanical thing for us to build. And it was, all hydraulic, and it was just kind of amazing to see it move around on set and stuff. And of course, then CGI came in, and there was less and less of the big monsters. I love the creatures in the faculty. So I thought that stuff was really cool. And we had Bernie Wrightson designing with us on that.
Yes.
So it was, always great to get to work with a legend like him. There was, and of course, I'm partial to Wishmaster just because I directed it.
Yes.
The first one, but there's just a lot. Army of Darkness, as far as movies that were just so much fun to work on. Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. But on Evil Dead 2, we were working for Mark Shostrom, but each of us kind of were in charge of a particular character.
Yeah.
And then on Army of Darkness, Canby handled the army and a bunch of other stuff in it. So those were like the most fun on set. I think a lot of that had to do with, Bruce Campbell, Rob Tapert, and Sam Raimi, because they were just so fun to work with, But
yeah, coming back to Wishmaster, I have to tell him.
No, here we go.
Here
we go.
We did an episode of the podcast about Wishmaster.
okay.
So, and I know this scene wasn't in the first Wishmaster, but I was playing dumb, okay, because we somewhat script things. And I'm like, oh, I love that scene where in the prison and the lawyer fucks himself. And I'm going on and on and on about it. Gray's like, that was Wishmaster 2. I'm like, really? Are you sure? So if you ever see that episode,
okay.
I know that one.
About Wishmaster, since you did direct it, how was it that you were able to, I mean, I'm sure you just knew them from the industry, but Wishmaster, not only is it a fun, wonderful, great film, wonderful special effects, gore effects, all of it's great, but it was kind of like a celebration of people from the industry itself. Was that like kind of the idea from the inception of Wishmaster to kind of get all these guys to work on it with you?
Kind of. It became a hook after I brought it up, but initially I was like, hey, I want to, where can I find roles for my friends in this movie that I want to work with, that I've worked with over the years. And then the powers that be, the executives at the production company, were like, well, maybe we can turn this into a marketing hook, like with the icons of horror being in it, and then later people call it the what's the Stallone Expendables of horror.
Expendables of horror.
Expendables of horror, So, but so that's how it started. And then I was like, look, I'm friends with Robert Englund. I think he'd be great as Beaumont. And then it was like, well, what other roles can we find? And then we figured out, okay, we'll get Tony Todd and we'll get Kane Hodder, and then I peppered a lot of other people throughout.
Yeah.
Like Angus Scrimm doing the voiceover in the opening, and you got Ted Raimi in it. You got Danny Hicks from Evil Dead. And we had Joe Pilato for a little role, and Reggie Bannister. So we just kind of tried to get everybody in there that we could. And then it just so happens we had the three kind of icons at the time. Yeah. And we were introducing a new icon is the idea. So they just use that as a marketing hook, But
and the Jin from Wishmaster, I wish it eventually would have got to the level of Jason and Freddy. It almost got there, but I think design-wise and character-wise, it deserved to get there, and maybe even above and beyond, just from the original idea of everything going on and how cool and unique and original the makeup for this was. We had never seen anything quite like that to begin with. Was the Jin your favorite part to design for Wishmaster, or do you have a favorite gore gag from it?
Well, actually, I love and it was actually Gary Tunnicliffe did this for us. He did the skeleton ripping out of the guy's skin,
Yes.
which I thought was great, and and the fact that we had a little stop motion animation in there as well. But I think the statue sequence is kind of one of my favorite things in it, where they come to life.
Very cool. Yes.
And the look of the djinn itself was, I really loved like the costume incorporated with the makeup, with the armor, and
Yes.
I know he had a majestic feel to him. And the best part about it was he never really got physical in the movie. It's all about using his mind to trick him with the wish. So and I thought that's what made it unique, and I thought we definitely delivered a unique looking
100%.
creature. So
it's like
It's
equal
iconic.
amounts unique. It is very iconic. It's unique. It's mystical. It's almost fairy tale-y, but at the same time, it's horrendous and disgusting. And it rides those lines almost perfectly. It's one of my personal favorite designs that you've ever done. Out of everything, Randy, do you have anything you want to ask?
I'm going to ask the question.
Oh, you're going to ask the question. He's taking my question.
Yes,
I want to hear it. Let's go.
Okay. If you had any amount of money, and anyone to direct you, whatever, writer, whatever, anything, everything, would be your passion project?
I can't tell you. Only because I don't want anybody to steal the idea.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Fair enough.
But I am
Fair
working on something that is like my dream project to do.
That's
Okay.
excellent. Oh, that's wonderful.
But like
That's-
I said, if I give it away, I'm always paranoid that somebody's going to come up with the idea anyway, and I'll see it
I know.
announced.
I
Oh wait,
know.
that's the same idea, So
I know.
yeah.
I've written scripts where like 2 years down the road, I'm like, are they? Oh, thank
Yeah.
God, they didn't go quite there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's such a
This is like
it's an idea that I someone else could come up with, but I'm hoping not. But we're in this script writing stage, so
Excellent.
we'll see where it goes.
There's two best answers for that question, and that's somebody really going balls to the wall and be like, I've been thinking about this, and here it is. The other great answer is that somebody is actually actively working on it, and that's super exciting. So congratulations,
Yeah.
you're actually getting a chance.
Well, I
to do
wouldn't
that.
say.
That's
First
amazing.
off, I think I would jinx myself by
Fair enough.
actually saying what it is, and then it's like saying what I think my next movie is going to be this, and then you don't get the job.
Gotcha.
So,
right.
so,
I've done that.
yeah.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
Robert,
Oh, thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you
pleasure.
so much, and
Thank you for
but
questions.
thank you so much for everything you've brought to the genre. Being fans, there's not enough accolades we could give you, or enough thanks for the amazing amount of artistry that you've given us, and we just appreciate that so greatly for everything that you've done with your talents and everything like that. So thank you from the
Awesome.
bottom of our hearts.
Thank you, guys.
and if you ever heard Tom Savini bitching about kids calling him in the '80s, I was one of
I was one of those too. So.